Hello! So today I'm going to do a 30-day update. It is April 30th and I'm done with my squat challenge and I wanted to update you on how the fasting is going. First, I guess I should touch on the squat challenge. It was really the most insignificant part of this month. I did it and it seemed like it worked. I definitely noticed a difference in my legs and butt as far as this weight loss goes, and even some toning and just some small differences, and I've got before and after pictures of that. But the part that I'm really excited about is obviously the intermittent fasting. Beyond the squats, the only exercises that I've done is I've started walking, and that has a lot to do with my chiropractic care. About 1 mile to 2 miles a night, we'll go on a walk around the neighborhood. But beyond that, I have not been exercising. So this weight loss has a lot to do with the actual diet and what I've been doing there. So if you're lazy, like me, you want to lose some weight just strictly by dieting, here you go. This is an easy way to do it, and it was so easy. So I guess I should tell you I lost 11 pounds. I carry a lot of that weight on my torso, particularly my stomach and my back, which is really, I don't like the way that looks. So I'm really happy with the before and after results there. They're not huge, but they are a damn good start. When I fast from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day. I break my fast around noon. Sometimes it's a little bit before or sometimes it's a little bit after. It just depends on how my day is going. But a typical day for me is I'll wake up around 9:30. At that point, I decide what I am going to be eating throughout the day. I get Shay ready and we go and we do our shopping for the day. Even if it's just to get out of the house to go walk around somewhere. Now that springtime is here and the weather is getting warmer, we are definitely being outside more. And so this is a good way to kind of fill the gap as far as that time goes before I can eat, because in the morning I do tend to get a little hungry. So that's about what I do there. I break my fast around 11:45 to noon, again, depending on my day, but usually around 11:45, I'm like, okay, it's time, I need to eat at noon, so I'm going to break my fast. I do that with a 16-ounce glass of water, with just about a teaspoon, give or take, of organic apple cider vinegar. I use this because that increases your insulin sensitivity, which is huge when you are trying to lose weight. And I think I'm going to do a separate video on insulin sensitivity and the significance of that. I wait about 10 minutes after having the apple cider vinegar mixture, and then I actually eat my breakfast. And so breakfast for me consists of either one of those tuna packets that I've talked about in a couple of my past videos. I'll do a tuna packet with about a tablespoon of light mayonnaise and then about 6 crackers. So very specific portions. This is because I'm keeping track of my calories, and that is the easiest way to do that, is to measure everything out. So that tends to be around 350 calories, and it is high in protein, low in fat. The carbohydrates are minimal, but they are definitely there. So that's my high protein breakfast. I'm going to be really honest. I got sick of those tuna packets. After 26 days, I was like, I'm done with the tuna. So I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did. I got tired of the tuna packets. So day 26 of 30, and I'm having eggs. and a little handful of my homemade granola. It's granola. Anyways, so that I was eating it, and like right in the middle of me eating it, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I do that though. I will eat something until I get completely sick of it, and then I can't touch it again for a few months. So I switched to egg, and so I've been doing some scrambled eggs and a handful of my homemade granola. I have that recipe actually on the Facebook page. If you haven't checked out the Facebook page, go ahead and do that. I've got a link for it in the description. That's where I'll be posting all of my recipes. So that's breakfast. That's the first part of my day. Lunch, I usually have around 2 or 3. Typically, to stay within my calorie intake for the day, I will do a piece of fruit. I really love mangoes, but they're not easy to find around this time. I'm so grateful summer is right around the corner and this stuff is going to be yummy again. It's going to go into season and I won't have to buy fruit that tastes like dirt. But that is a typical lunch for me. If I don't have fruit, then I will make myself a salad, and I'll just take whatever vegetables are in the fridge, laying around on the counters or whatever. I'll just take all of those vegetables, chop them up really small, throw them in a bowl, and then make a dressing. 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, whatever sweetener you're using, whether it be agave, honey, or a jam of some sort, which I love to use. Then you'll use about a tablespoon-ish of that. Yeah, and then probably 3 or 4 tablespoons of some sort of acid. So I like to use flavored vinegars or different kinds of vinegars, white wine vinegar, red wine vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I love all of them. Balsamic vinegar tends to be sweet, so if you've added jam, you might want to add a little less jam or honey or whatever to that if you're going to use balsamic. And then beyond that, you've got citrus. So you've got orange, grapefruit, lemons, limes. There are a couple other kinds of citrus that I can't think of right off the top of my head what they're called, but you know, you've got options. And then, you know, some salt and pepper to taste. Bam, you've got yourself a vinaigrette, and it goes good on anything. So just some ideas there for you. That's a typical lunch for me. Dinner is, we usually have dinner around 6-ish, and that I try to do high protein. We definitely will have some carbs with dinner, obviously, because we don't suck. And then low fat. And by low fat, I mean no added fat. Meats tend to have their own fat that comes on it. So I make a lot of this stuff in the oven because then that makes it a little bit easier to not add fat, because if you're frying something in a frying pan or sauteing something, then you have to have that added fat so it doesn't stick to your frying pan and so it turns out good. So I make a lot of stuff in the oven. But our protein choices tend to be chicken, pork, beef, or fish. We're not so into tofu. I'm not saying that we couldn't make that happen. I'm saying that we don't want to. So that's really where we're at with it. But if you like tofu, obviously that's a good protein option. Beans are something that I will work with occasionally as far as protein goes. But my husband really likes meat, and I make it work for me as well. As far as carbs go, our carbs are things like potatoes, carrots, cauliflower, and pasta. Those are our favorite kinds. Pasta we try to do less and less of because it is so high in the carbs. I did find a really great pasta. It's called Dreamfields pasta, and it is a lower carb pasta. And so that's wonderful. But cauliflower, carrots, and potatoes are something that we eat a ton of. It's great because it's available all year round. I mean, carrots and potatoes, they are root vegetables, so they keep forever, and they're so yummy. And you can do so many different things with them. Potatoes are the most versatile thing I can even think of. Cauliflower, we do a lot of stuff with cauliflower. We make cauliflower rice. I made cauliflower pizza. I have the recipe for that on the Facebook page. I've done cauliflower breadsticks and cauliflower fried rice. Things like that are stuff that we will do for our dinners. So protein, carbs that are vegetables, and low fat. So no added fat, no added cheese. So that's what a typical day looks like as far as eating goes. And that's what we try to stick to. It's worked not only for me, but for Casey as well. He's been weighing himself and he's like, I'm losing weight too. He's not snacking so much after dinner. So, I wanted to touch on the insulin sensitivity thing. While doing my research and while looking up ways to fast successfully, I learned that being sensitive to insulin is a huge deal. Skinny people are sensitive to insulin. There are several ways that you can increase your insulin sensitivity, and there are a lot of horrible ways that you can increase your insulin resistance. People tend to go for the latter. So what happens is when you overload your body with carbs, your body becomes resistant to the insulin that it produces. If you eat a lot of fat, actually, you become more resistant to insulin as well. I'm going to go more into depth on this in a different video, but just know that you want to increase your insulin sensitivity. There's so much information out there on how to do that. I do that by walking and by drinking the apple cider vinegar. Those are just two ways that I do it personally, and they seem to have been working for me so far. Basically, what you want is for your body to store the protein that helps to build your muscles. You want it to use the carbs for energy, and you don't want it to store fat. You don't want to eat more carbs than your body needs. So if you're not a person who works out regularly, maybe eating a plate full of potatoes and rice and pasta isn't a good idea for you. I don't work out a lot, obviously. Working out is not something that I like doing. It's, well, work. So, and I'm lazy. I'm going to be really honest. I'm a lazy person, so I don't like to work out. So, and that's why my calories are so low, is because I am not a very active person. The more active I get, obviously, the more calories I can then intake. But as far as this goes, I don't want to eat more carbs than my body needs for the energy. So I do a low carb, for the most part, diet. Will I incorporate the intermittent fasting into my daily routine from here on out? Yes. It is so easy to do. I've had no issues doing it. And even, I don't really have cheat days, but on days that I don't necessarily follow this diet to the T, I still do very well and still stay around my calorie where I need to be. So it's actually, without having to keep track, without having to plan ahead, I'm actually doing this like on accident, So that's cool. So it's teaching me how to actually do this without keeping track of it so much. In just 30 days, I've made a habit of eating healthy. And that's awesome. That's definitely something I can do from here on out now. It just took me a little while to kind of get into the groove and practice that. I think next month I might try to do a couple 24-hour or 48-hour fasts. I haven't committed to that yet, but stay tuned. You might be seeing some videos of that. But that's it. That's my 30-day update. So check out my before and after pictures. They're not significant, but it's a start. We're going in the right direction. I'm really excited about this. I honestly wasn't expecting there to be even that much of a difference with how little I actually like worked for this. So I'm really excited about this. I'm excited to share this with you guys and how I did it. Check out the Facebook page, Instagram, Pinterest, and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Give it a thumbs up, and I will see you later. Bye.